In the world of international arms deals, some stories are meant to vanish, like the secret delivery of Italian jets to Eritrea. Under the cover of darkness in the mid-1990s, a new African nation quietly acquired a modern air force. Eritrea, fresh from a brutal war for independence, needed more than a flag. It needed the means to defend itself. Italy, with its own interests in the Horn of Africa, became the unlikely supplier. The deal was shrouded in secrecy. No press, no fanfare, just discreet diplomatic channels. The jets, Ermaki MB-339s, were officially trainers, but everyone knew they could be armed for combat. For Eritrea, they were a symbol of sovereignty. For Italy, a diplomatic gamble. The world only learned the truth when war broke out with Ethiopia and the trainers became instruments of war. Italy faced tough questions about arming a nation at war, and the blurred line between aid and armament was exposed. The Eritrean MB-339s became a case study in how history, ambition, and secrecy can collide. Their story is about more than aircraft. It's about the shadows cast by secret deals. In the end, the jets would change the fate of two nations and leave a legacy that could not be hidden forever. In 1993, Eritrea emerged from decades of war, but its independence came with daunting challenges. The country's infrastructure was shattered, and its military was a patchwork of guerrilla fighters and abandoned Soviet jets. Eritrea's air force was virtually non-existent, a dangerous gap in a volatile region. The few MiG-21s and MiG-23s left behind were barely airworthy, no match for Ethiopia's modern fleet. Eritrea needed affordable, versatile aircraft, fast. The search for a new air force was urgent, but options were limited by budget and international skepticism. The ideal solution: a jet that could train pilots and double as a light attack aircraft. For Eritrea, building an air force was about more than defense. It was about pride and sovereignty. The sight of Eritrean jets in the sky would be a powerful symbol of nationhood. The government was determined to fill the empty skies, no matter the obstacles. The quest for air power was on, and Eritrea needed a partner willing to take a risk. That partner would soon emerge from an unexpected place, its former colonial ruler. Eritrea's search for jets led it back to Italy, its former colonial master. Despite a painful history, the two nations shared deep cultural and diplomatic ties. Italy saw an opportunity. Supplying jets could strengthen its influence in a strategic region. But the deal was risky. Italy, as a NATO and EU member, faced strict arms export controls. Supplying trainers to a conflict-prone nation was a diplomatic tightrope. Still, historical connections and strategic interests tipped the scales. Italy's aerospace industry had the perfect jet for Eritrea's needs. The negotiations were discreet, leveraging shared history to smooth the way. In the end, Italy gambled on plausible deniability, betting the world wouldn't look too closely, until it was too late. The Ermaki MB-339 was more than a trainer, it was a chameleon. Designed in the 1970s, it could teach new pilots, and with a quick reconfiguration, deliver firepower on the battlefield. Its 6 underwing hardpoints allowed it to carry rockets, bombs, and gun pods. The MB-339's versatility made it a favorite for smaller air forces needing maximum value. Its reputation was burnished by Italy's own aerobatic team, the Frecce Tricolori, showcasing its agility and toughness. The jet was exported worldwide, serving in air forces from Argentina to the UAE. For Eritrea, it was a leap forward, modern, affordable, and dual-purpose. The MB-339 let Eritrea train pilots and field a credible strike force, all in one package. It was a force multiplier for a nation eager to defend its hard-won independence. The arrival of these jets marked a new era for Eritrea's military ambitions. In 1996, Eritrea and Italy sealed a $50 million deal for 6 MB-339 CE jets. The transaction was cloaked in secrecy. No public announcements, no media coverage. Eritrea wanted to avoid provoking Ethiopia. Italy wanted to dodge international scrutiny. The jets were labeled as trainers, but their combat potential was clear. Delivery was discreet. The aircraft arrived in pieces, reassembled by Italian technicians in Asmara. By the time the world noticed, the jets were operational and integrated into Eritrea's air force. The deal was Eritrea's biggest defense acquisition, a symbol of progress and national pride. Quiet diplomacy and patience had paid off. In the shadows, Eritrea's air force was reborn, subtly shifting the balance of power in the Horn of Africa. The secret was out. Eritrea now had wings. With the jets in hand, Eritrea faced its next challenge: training pilots. Italian instructors set up an intensive program, guiding Eritrean veterans through the complexities of jet aviation. Many trainees had never flown before, but the MB-339's forgiving nature made it an ideal classroom. The sight of Eritrean jets over Asmara became a symbol of pride and progress. The training program aimed for self-sufficiency. Graduates would become the next generation of instructors. This train-the-trainer approach ensured the Air Force's long-term viability. The MB-339s featured in national parades, embodying Eritrea's independence and ambition. Beyond hardware, Eritrea was building a professional air arm from the ground up. The foundation was set for a new era in Eritrean military aviation. Peace didn't last. In 1998, war erupted between Eritrea and Ethiopia. The MB-339s, once trainers, became frontline attack jets. They flew close air support and reconnaissance missions, striking Ethiopian positions along the border. Their agility and ability to operate from rough airfields made them valuable assets. The war exposed the true nature of the jets, and Italy faced international backlash for arming a nation at war. Human rights groups condemned the deal, and Italy scrambled to distance itself. The conflict triggered an informal arms embargo, cutting Eritrea off from spare parts and support. The MB-339s were pushed to their limits, but sustaining them became a struggle. The secret deal was now global news, and Eritrea's air force faced an uncertain future. The jets' combat debut was both a triumph and the beginning of their decline. When the war ended in 2000, Eritrea's MB-339s were battered and isolated. The arms embargo left the fleet without spare parts or technical support. Cannibalization became routine. Grounded jets were stripped to keep others flying. By 2005, only a few remained airworthy. The rest gathered dust in Asmara's hangars. Public sightings dwindled, and the government offered no updates. The fate of the MB-339s became a mystery. Were any still flying, or were they all grounded for good? As of 2025, their status is unknown. They faded into obscurity. The jets' decline mirrored Eritrea's growing isolation and the harsh realities of maintaining advanced technology under sanctions. Their story is a cautionary tale for small nations. Acquiring jets is one thing, sustaining them is another. The silent, grounded MB-339s are a poignant reminder of ambition undone by geopolitics. The secret jet deal between Italy and Eritrea is now a fascinating footnote in African military history. The MB-339s symbolized Eritrea's early ambitions and its determination to stand tall as a new nation. Their acquisition was a diplomatic coup, but war and embargo turned them into liabilities. The jets' slow fade reflected Eritrea's isolation and the limits of foreign-supplied power. For Italy, the episode was a lesson in the risks of arms exports to volatile regions. The MB-339s remain a symbol of what might have been, a nation's reach for the sky, grounded by the realities of war and politics. Their legacy endures, not in the skies, but in the lessons they left behind. Eritrea's secret air force is now history, but its story still echoes in the shadows.